Good morning. Good morning. Happy holidays. Welcome to the Boise Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. We are a spiritually diverse, justice-seeking religious community proclaiming the power of love at the core of our living tradition. Love of neighbor, love of our planet, and love for ourselves. Whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Whomever you love, however you identify, you are welcome here. Whatever faiths you have known, if any, whatever doubts you carry, you are welcome here. I'm the Reverend Sara LaWall. I use she, her pronouns. It is my great honor to serve this beloved community as your minister. Today, we have a beautiful holiday Christmas music service featuring our booth choir and violinist Rebecca Stern, pianist Sue Langley, our beautiful liturgical dancers led by Diane Dorius, all of this put together by our amazing music director, Carrie Bastian. So we're in for a beautiful musical experience today. And I have a feeling it's going to get even more crowded in here, so I want to invite you all, as you are able, as you see new people move in, to make some space, to look for those new faces and welcome people to sit among you. Let's take a moment to welcome our Zoom community. Those that are worshiping with us online will turn and wave to our cameras. And then Zoomers, we invite you to turn your cameras on so we can see your beautiful faces up on our screen. Good morning. Good to see you, Mark and Carol and Lynnda. Oh, hello there, cutie. Welcome. Thank you all for joining us online, reminding us that we worship together as one beloved community beyond the walls of this sanctuary. A very special welcome to our newcomers. Those of you who are joining us for the first time or second or third time, we know it takes a lot of courage to check out a new community, and we're so glad that you have chosen us this morning. We invite you to stick around after the service if you're with us in person and introduce yourselves so that we can warmly welcome you, and to do so in the chat online so we can welcome you there. We have newcomer forms in each of our entryways which you can fill out, and we can keep you posted with all that is happening here in our fellowship. We are a very busy, very beautifully connected community, so there are lots of opportunities to connect and engage and meet new people. I have a few announcements, reminders about our upcoming holiday worship services that I want to share with everyone. This Friday night is our annual winter solstice service, candlelight service here at 7 p.m., and we invite you to come a little early so that you can do your smudging. We'll gather outside, so dress warmly, and then we'll come in here for our service. Then next Sunday is Pajama Church, second annual Pajama Church. You are invited to wear your pajamas to church at 10 a.m. It's a multi-generational service, so we'll enjoy some time and stories and pajama time together. And then we gather as a congregation on Christmas Eve at 5 p.m. with our candle lighting Christmas Eve worship service. We hope that you will be able to join us for all of those. Each week we gather and center ourselves by lighting our flaming chalice, a symbol of our free faith, a beacon of hope, love, and justice. This is the season of Advent, a time of intention and reverent anticipation of the miracles of the season. So we honor our history, joining in the centuries-old tradition of lighting candles in an evergreen wreath to symbolize the circle of life, love, and light always with us. On this third Sunday of Advent, we light a candle for joy. In igniting these lights, we remind ourselves of the sparks of joy that light our path, even in the darkest of times. As Cambria Jenkins lights our chalice and Advent wreath here in the sanctuary, I invite those of you on Zoom to light a candle or chalice nearby if you have one, and then share with us in the chat where it is you've lit your chalice this morning. Beautifully done. Thank you. Let us kick off this music service as we sing our gathering hymn together. I invite you to rise and body your spirit for hymn 224 in the gray hymnal, words also on the screen, Let Christmas Come.
We come from and live on land considered sacred by many indigenous peoples, known as Bannock, Shoshone, Paiute, and many other tribes that lived here sustainably for thousands of years, inhabiting a vast region including much of Idaho.
We recognize the long history of the land, long before colonization, and acknowledge the ancient tribes whose names have been lost in history.
With this acknowledgement, we wish to demonstrate our commitment to dismantling the legacies of settler colonialism. We honor Indigenous peoples' connection to the land and support their right to sovereignty.
In the challenges of these truths, may we move through the world bringing justice in every way that we can, listening to the truths spoken to us by Native American peoples, making space for them to re-inhabit this place, and giving them back the resources they need to heal their communities.
Our spiritual theme for the month of December is living love through the practice of presence. And today's service invites us to explore being present to the holy through the music and the ancient story of the birth of Jesus of Nazareth. Our service follows the journey of each of the major characters in this story, from Mary and Joseph, the angels and shepherds, the Magi, and more. Each section of the story is introduced with words from a beautiful prayer written by the Reverend Rebecca Parker, then president of Star King School for the Ministry. It was written and delivered in 2017, just days after then President Donald Trump and his administration banned the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention from using the following 7 words: vulnerable, entitlement, diversity, transgender, fetus, evidence-based, and science-based. So the challenge to listen for those words in the prayer. Carrie has written additional stanzas in the same form to help us fill out the story. This prayer is but one way that Unitarian Universalists and other clergy protested and resisted that particular decision. Through our worship and prayer, we anchor ourselves in the light of hope that leads each of us on our own journey, on our search for the holy, for truth and meaning, and for ever greater love and justice. So as we enter into this time of worship, I invite us all to take a breath together. Fill your body with breath bring yourself fully present into this space, this moment, knowing that our breath connects us to one another, to our bodies, to our planet, to that which is larger than life itself. Our breath offers us the opportunity for stillness, to tune in to our spiritual center, to listen deeply to our heart's own longing. Thou art the song of my heart in the morning. Thou art the dawn of truth in my soul. Thou art the dew of the roses adorning. Thou art the woven whole. Thine is the grace to be steadfast in danger. Thine is the peace that none can destroy. Thine is the face of the need-riven stranger. Thine are the wings of joy. Thou art the deep, to the deep in me calling. Thou art a lamp where my feet shall tread. Thy way is steep past the peril of falling. Thou art my daily bread. Thine be the praise of my spirit uplifted. Thou art the sea to each flowing stream. Thine be the days that are gathered and sifted. Thou art the deathless dream.
Going to Bethlehem, 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 see that baby, going to Bethlehem, see that child, going to Bethlehem, see that baby, going to Bethlehem, gonna take a going to Bethlehem, 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 see that baby, going to Bethlehem, see that child, going to Bethlehem, see that baby, going to Bethlehem, gonna take a going to Bethlehem, going to Bethlehem, going to Bethlehem. Look over yonder and see the wise men on a journey they travel afar. Look over yonder and see the wise men led to Bethlehem by a star. Going to Bethlehem, see that baby. Going to Bethlehem, see that child. Going to Bethlehem, see that baby. Going to Bethlehem, gonna take a going to Bethlehem, going to Bethlehem, going to Bethlehem. Look over yonder and see the shepherds watching over their flocks by night. Look over yonder and see the shepherds by the light of a star so bright. Going to Bethlehem, see that baby. Going to Bethlehem, see that child. Going to Bethlehem, see that baby. Going to Bethlehem, gonna take a going to Bethlehem, going to Bethlehem, going to Bethlehem. I'm gonna sing heavenly melodies when I see that child. I'm gonna sing heavenly melodies when I see that child. I'm gonna shout, shout, shout. are going to Bethlehem, going to Bethlehem, going to Bethlehem. Look over yonder and see the angels from the heavens, they come to earth. Look over yonder and see the angels singing praise of the baby's birth. Going to Bethlehem, see that baby. Going to Bethlehem, see that child. Going to Bethlehem, see that baby. Going to Bethlehem, gonna take a going to Bethlehem. Going to Bethlehem, going to Bethlehem, going to Bethlehem, going to Bethlehem, see that baby. Going to Bethlehem, see that child. Going to Bethlehem, see that baby. Going to Bethlehem, gonna take our going to Bethlehem, going to Bethlehem, going to Bethlehem. Going to Bethlehem, going to Bethlehem. Going to Bethlehem to see that. Going to Bethlehem, going to Bethlehem, going to see that child.
What a beautiful way to start this musical service, choir. Thank you. Our call to worship this morning is from my colleague, the Reverend Dan Schatz, who serves the UU congregation of Westchester, Pennsylvania. Reverend Dan has been writing a Christmas prayer and poem every year for the last 25 years. The night brought news of wonders. A star in the winter sky, a sign and a promise. Shepherds from the hills carried tales of angels and songs of peace. Wise ones from distant lands following heavenly omens arrived with prophecies and gifts. And the young parents, so far from home, marveled at it all. So the stories tell, and so we sing each year. But when a child's first cry pierced the midnight air, all that mattered was love. Come, let us worship together. In keeping with the commitment that all that matters is love, and all that we do together as a multi-generational community, as a community of generosity and a community of care and connection, I want to invite all of our young people who came into this world as love to come and join us down here for our time for all ages. Thank you, Cambria, always for being such a model. Hi, everybody. Today we have the Wonder Box is back. The Wonder Box is back. The Wonder Box is here in hopes that you will help us share a story today. A story today. Who would you like to be the first to look in the Wonder Box and show something to us? Come on up here. What's your name? Sam, can you stand up for a second with me? Yeah, great. Okay. I'm gonna let you open it because it's fun. Open that top and pick something. Oh my goodness, Sam, what do you have? Why don't you pick something? What is it? Oh, there it is. Yep, that might be something that does. That goes with it. Why don't you hold that too?
Another horse.
Another horse. You want to pick that one too? There's enough. You can have two. Elizabeth? Oh, very cool. There you go, Michael. Yes, please. Help us out here. Thank you. Travis. Okay, friends, you all, can you just show each other, maybe hold up real high in your hands what it is you have in your hands, and look around. Look at each other. These beautifully carved wooden figurines tell a very particular story. Does anyone know what story that might be? Abby, especially, I'm gonna hold yours up real quick. See this? See this here? What does that look like? Maybe. A baby, maybe? Do you know this story? What story is this telling? Yes, ma'am. The story of the birth of Jesus. How many of you have heard that story before? Yeah? Can somebody tell me a part of the story, whatever part you know? Who would like to tell me a part of the story? Anyone know a part of the story? What part do you know? Once upon a time in a land far away, what happened? There was a baby. Do we know who the baby's parents were? Do you remember their names? Yes. Mary and Joseph were the baby's parents, that's right. And who else was there when the baby was born? Who else was there? What's in your hand? Some animals. Yeah, do you know why there were animals where the baby was born? Because where was the baby born? In a manger, where was the manger? It's like the little cradle. And where was that little cradle located? A barn. That's right. So of course there's animals in the barn. And who's looking after the animals? Who looks after the sheep? Shepherds. Good. Okay, so we have shepherds and sheep and donkeys and horses and animals and a baby and Mary and Joseph, who's missing? Who else came to visit the baby?
The wise men.
The wise men. How many?
3.
It's hard to tell the difference, but there are some wise men. Who has our wise men among us up here? The wise men have gifts. Yes?
I would say 15.
15 wise men. Yes. You know what? There probably were 15, but we only know about 3 because somebody else wrote the story, so. Oh, good. There's some wise men right there. Yes. And the wise men brought gifts to the baby. Gifts of, what did they bring? Did they bring diapers, do you think? Yes. They should have, but I don't know that that's what the story said. Maybe they brought those too. Do you know what gifts they brought? They brought some very interesting gifts. Gold and something else. Do you know what others of the something else that's?
Horses.
They brought some well, they probably came on horses or camels. They brought this thing called frankincense. We don't know much about that these days. We don't really use frankincense. And myrrh, they brought these strange gifts, but these gifts were all about symbols of divinity, of holiness. And so they were bringing them to the baby to say, we heard this baby is special, this baby is divine and holy, so we're bringing these gifts to confer that. So that's where the tradition of gift giving comes from, Christmas time. Did you know that? So when we give a gift to someone at Christmas time, really what's underneath all of that is saying, oh, I see the divine in you, the holy in you. You are holy too. You were born from love. That is the story that we are telling today, the story found in the Christian scriptures of the birth of Jesus of Nazareth. And Jesus grew up to be a really important teacher. Some called him rabbi, which is teacher in Hebrew. And he taught a lot of really beautiful, important lessons. Does anyone know what some of those lessons are? Cambria. Love thy neighbor. Yeah, that's a really important lesson. That's one we really need to practice. Any other lessons that you know about? That's perhaps one of the most important. He taught about giving to the least of these, right? About making sure that we are welcoming the stranger and looking out for those who are vulnerable. One of those banned words, apparently. So that's the story. Thank you for helping me tell the story today. I'm going to let you take these figures back with you. So if you want to look at them some more and talk about them some more while you're doing your religious exploration today, you can. And then you can just bring them right back here to the Wonder Blocks after the service. Because see, we have our own nativity right up here. We call this the nativity scene. So you all can set it up and see how you want to set it up when you get into your classroom. Thanks for helping me tell the story today, you all. Let's stand as you are able and let's sing together our community blessing. Have a good time, friends. There's enough horses and sheep to go around, and figurines to go around. The practice of generosity, one of our core values as Unitarian Universalists, is about being present to the needs of community and knowing that our presence in generosity matters. We give because we believe in the power of being present to building beloved communities within and beyond our walls. We give because we believe in the power of being present to the work for justice and compassion for all people and our earth. Today we share our gifts with our plate partner, the Idaho Suicide and Crisis Hotline 988, a hotline available 24/7 for anyone in time of need and crisis, as an expression of our commitment to presence and living out our faith in the world. I invite our ushers to please come forward. We thank you in advance for your generosity. Our offering will now be received. As our ushers bring our offering gifts forward, I invite us all to join together in the collective blessing of our generosity this morning. We bless these gifts so freely given. May generosity always be our companion as we walk the holy path toward ever greater compassion and beauty. Thank you.
We remember Mary, birth mother of a revolutionary prophet, the fetus in her womb a surprise, her choice a decision to magnify her hope, of the birth difficult, attended by a beautiful diversity of animals, and a ragtag gathering of vulnerable people. May we too kneel at the cradle of Earth's dreams for peace and dedicate ourselves to revolutionary love.
We remember Joseph, unexpectant father, who embraced the baby as his own, believing that every child has a God-given entitlement to love and care. May we too stand by the women and children of this world when patriarchal privilege and power threaten their freedom and put their well-being at risk.
We remember the angels singing in the cold, cold night to the overtaxed poor, promising peace and goodwill to all. May we echo their song in acts of solidarity and justice for all souls, refugee souls, disabled souls, green souls, black souls, young souls, transgender souls. May we join the bold the holy movement to bring heaven to earth.
Angels sing glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild. God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise. Join the triumph of the skies with angelic host proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Oh, hark the herald angels sing, glory,
We remember the shepherds, simple guardians of humble flocks, protecting their sheep from wolves and other wild forces, awestruck by the brightest of stars and surprised by heavenly proclamations. May we too appreciate the gifts of simplicity, protect the vulnerable, and still be awed by the stars as we persist through the darkest nights. Now let us sing together hymn 255 in your gray hymnal. There's a star in the east. Please rise in body or spirit.
We remember the many and the nameless, the midwives and the village folk who attended Mary and her newborn son, the innkeepers with rooms full to the brim who made room anyway, sharing what they had, even if it was the barn out back. May we too, unknown beyond our kith and ken, welcome the holy, give and share as we are able, and include all within the arms of beloved community.
We remember the Magi, observers of stars, evidence-based seekers who found their way to kneel before a baby. May we too kneel before life's intricate mysteries, following the path of science-based searchers for truth.
We remember Bethlehem, a small outpost in Judea, a little town where the Roman Empire gathered census data to enact oppressive taxation upon the locals, an unlikely spot for a deity to appear. May we remember that divinity can arise in the most surprising places, under impossibly challenging circumstances. The holy might appear in our town, possibly in our homes, possibly right here, right now.
was beautiful. Thank you. I'm feeling emotional with all of this beautiful music this morning. It's really settled into my heart in thinking about this ancient story that gets told year after year after year, reminding us that each of the players in this story made their own journey to Bethlehem. Each received a revelation, an invitation, a calling of sorts from a voice in the distance or on high that some called angels. And the voices spoke of a holy night, a holy light, of a miracle, of God's great love. So off they went. How incredibly trusting. But of course, the authors of this story left some things out. They did not describe the likely doubting of such a revelation. I mean, if Moses doubted God's voice, surely the shepherds and magi doubted the voice of angels, or even questioned God's existence altogether. Because what kind of God would ask their people to uproot their lives and livelihoods and follow a star? We certainly don't read about the complaining of having to interrupt their lives to make such a journey. Mary and Joseph didn't want to leave Judea. No one wants to embark on such a journey on a donkey while 9 months pregnant. And how on earth would the birth of this baby become the new Messiah, as some were suggesting? But they all went anyway. For anyone who has ever been on a pilgrimage, either a physical one of your own choosing, or the kind of pilgrimage that life throws at you without warning, sometimes without your consent, there are often some typical moments in the experience that we all share. There's the early, beautiful, hopeful, sort of soft focus, ethereal vision of this ideal experience that often becomes before we even really get started. There is then a moment of questioning when you might begin to doubt that this was a good idea and wonder why you even said yes to this journey in the first place. Oftentimes, this moment comes with thoughts of turning back and giving up. And then there are moments of boredom when nothing exciting or magical is happening, and you wonder if this is really a pilgrimage, or if goodness or God or the holy or the divine really exist. And then there is what I like to call the Gloria moment. Fits well with this story. That moment of alignment when you feel the power of presence, when the world falls away and it's just you and wherever you are. And this is not the end of the journey. I'm not talking about that moment, that sense of accomplishment. That's different. This is the sense of the power of the universe surrounding you, a feeling of rightness in your body and spirit despite your exhaustion. A sense of being held and belonging to something larger. A shedding of hopes and fears in favor of presence. The presence of peace and goodness. The presence of the holy crowding out the fear and hate and worry. Oftentimes, that Gloria moment is fleeting. Sometimes, if we're lucky, it can last a little while. We can kind of try and stretch it out. And this kind of holy journey can happen exploring a holy temple or walking the Camino, but it can also happen in birth, in death, in illness, in times of chaos and uncertainty. We might move through all of these moments, sometimes more than once. But then when it is all over, the memory fades. And sometimes the story of the journey becomes bigger, the story more embellished, because it helps us remember and helps us experience all that we felt and the holy all over again each time we tell it. So we embrace the telling of it. We sing songs and we let ourselves get taken up by the music. We recite prayers and let ourselves be held. We listen for angels, that we might be called to something miraculous. And we remember. We remember the courage and the doubting and the boredom and the Gloria, and let ourselves be filled with that everlasting light in hopes that it will carry us through yet another year. Amen. Friends, I invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer and meditation. Spirit of life and love, holy mystery, this is a prayer for the journey, that we might face what is to come with courage and compassion, with hope and love, listening to the voices that whisper, "Do not be afraid." This is a prayer for presence, that we might witness the holy in our midst, the holy within us and among us in each hand, each heart, each face, each encounter, even the holy in the struggle. This is a prayer for the world, broken and hurting, vulnerable and beautiful. May we bring alive Earth's dreams for peace, a vision for sanctuary and refuge for all people, and boldly, fiercely, joyfully dedicate ourselves to revolutionary love. In the name of all that is holy, we pray. Amen. We are so blessed with so much talent among us. Thank you, choir. Thank you, Rebecca and Sue and dancers. What a beautiful service, and the talent of our beloved siblings from Brooklyn. We're so blessed with so much beautiful music today. Thank you. Friends, I invite you to rise as you are able and place your hands over your heart for our closing blessing. This blessing is from Reverend Sandra Fees. May you remember the presence of the holy within you, that Gloria moment on your journey. And may that presence crowd out fear, hate, and worry, and proclaim in this moment that peace and goodwill might yet be breathed into the world, and avow that we too can give birth to love wherever we go, whoever we are. Blessed are we all. Go in peace.
Ooh, that was